different headset this time?
Yeah.
The hosts have died on you?
I don't trust the other one. I think I might just do AirPods from now on. It was very embarrassing last time when my professional setup just collapsed midway through.
Just crashed and gave up on you.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 172nd episode. Jesus, that is way too many. I just clocked how many that is.
That's 173 too many.
Of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me as always is my friend, co-host, and early morning pod / Hobbit buddy, Frederick.
Damn it!
Yep.
I thought I could get away with this.
Yeah, we had a little conversation off pod about Freddy's attire this morning, which does make him look like one Bilbo
and his future
Baggins.
on this podcast.
Yeah, you're wrapped up in what I assumed was a green Shire cape, but you've informed me
You're not far off.
it's something
Basically,
else.
it's just so cold in my flat right now. The insulation is terrible. The window ceiling is really poor. So like in over Christmas break, we got like frost on the inside of the windows, which I don't think is supposed to happen. It does not sound good. And it's just so cold. So I'm rocking a bathrobe and then a little Attack on Titan cape. But I do now realize, just up front and only on the shoulders, it does look like Samwise Gamgee's traveling pack.
You're about to just go off on an adventure, as Martin Freeman screams. Also, just question, no judgment, but you're also still shirtless. I can see like that you're shirtless. Why not put on a shirt and the bathroom and the cape? You're like, it's fucking freezing here, so I wore my Hobbit cape.
Listen. You need to get a little breathing room as well.
Okay. Is it for swag purposes? Okay. In our defense, it is 9 a.m. right now, so, we're not really... I don't think we're ready for full potting, so we're just gonna...
Yeah, I'm taking my vitamins.
I took my vitamins pre-pod, bro. Get on my level.
Sorry, bro.
Today, we're gonna be talking mini reviews and news. I'm thinking we blast through some mini reviews. I don't have that much. We do some newsums, and then at the end, a little topic, a more full review. I thought, because we have both seen it now and we haven't gotten a chance to discuss it, I thought we could talk about Babylon.
We can talk about Babylon.
Because I have a lot of thoughts. I will, by the time this video, or this pod has come out, I will put a video out about it, but I feel like we need to have some good discourse here. You know what I mean?
We need a little back and forth.
Absolutely. And so there are time codes down below. You can skip around to those as you please. Before we get into it, just a little thing, I feel like I'm bringing back the BHL rants at the start of these, and
I enjoy them.
Not so much a rant, just more of a I just
wanna, a love confession.
I want to share something with you and just be slightly validated in my anger here. So for college,
so it is an angry rant,
which is to be expected in college. I'm assigned a lot of readings, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them are those kind of overly wordy, sort of pretentious kind of, those kind of readings, which is honestly fine. I'm a grown-ass man, all right? I can comprehend it. It's okay. I can handle it. However...
What a weird way to go about this. Which is fine, because I'm a grown-ass man.
I was recently assigned a reading, and I would just like to read you the first sentence of this reading and explain to you why I out loud said to myself, fuck you, to this piece of work. So this is a piece of work about privacy, secrecy, intimacy, human bonds, and whatever by Zygmunt Bauman. Aline Ehrenberg, a uniquely insightful analyst of the convoluted trajectory of the modern individual's short yet dramatic history, attempted to pinpoint the birth date of the late modern cultural revolution, at least of its French branch, that ushered in the liquid modern world which we continue to inhabit, design, as well as overhaul and refurbish day in, day out, a sort of Western cultural revolution's equivalent of the salvo of the battleship Aurora that gave signal to the assault and capture of the Winter Palace and triggered the 70 years of the Bolsheviks' rule. Now,
God,
fuck you.
What a loser.
One sentence.
God. Like, I hate it. I hate it.
I just, because there are a lot of these kind of readings that I get that are kind of worded like that, but you can tell that there's a point and there's like, I don't know, you can get what they're trying to say. This one sounds like some asshole just trying to be like, yo, check me out. Check this shit out.
Check me out. I'm academically inclined.
I'm Zygmunt Bauman or whatever the fuck. So anyway, fuck
freaking
you.
Bauman. Well, okay. I usually laugh at these rants, but this one I will give a FTK stamp of approval,
Right?
because this is a fuck you moment. Freaking Bauman.
This is the number one bullshit. So I hope my lecturer listens to this and fails me for hating on her favorite author.
It's your lecturer's own book. He is Mr. Bauman.
She is Zygmunt. But anyway, yeah. So I just had to get that off my chest. We're gonna move on.
No, I get that.
Some mini reviews, and I'm gonna move Babylon here real quick down to the end. Out the gate, we've off the pod we started a little policy that with TV shows we should save them until they're done to talk about them, so we're not every week kind of saying the same thing. However, I did just want to get a little feeler out there if you have been watching The Last of Us. And if you have, maybe we talk the first 2 episodes and then save it until the end and then do the full series. So we get a little first impressions. And then
I like it. I like it. We make rules, we bend them because we want to. Yeah. I enjoy it.
We're the poorly planned, bro.
The world is our fucking oyster, bro.
Our 200 listeners are just going to have to deal with it.
We may set up boundaries, but we're just gonna fucking knock those bitches down. And what are they gonna do? Not listen to us and not get their daily dose of fun? I don't think so.
And not get the only smile in their day?
I think the fuck not. Anyways,
anyway, The Last of Us. Have you been watching?
You best believe I've been watching, and goddamn, do I very much enjoy.
I was gonna say, watching it, I did have a thought of, this is a very Freddy thing to enjoy. I felt like you would like it.
Man loves the apocalypse.
Man loves death and destruction. Well, because you can, for once, I might add, you could approach this with a little more background and knowledge than I can, because you have in fact played the games.
I have indeed.
I've seen.
I haven't played the second one, but the first one I have done a little cheeky run through of, and I mean, I don't mind if it strays a bit from the original storyline, but as long as it's good, and so far, I'm loving it. But did you see, like, there's the comparative photos of Pedro Pascal and Joel? Very good.
He looks exactly like him. I'm not gonna lie. He looks like they've nailed that.
It's dangerous.
It's actually scary.
Dangerously close.
But
should be illegal to look this close to Joel. No, but I think so far, the first episode was like an hour and 20, and the entire time I was sitting there just hooked. Yeah. Not a moment I was bored. The acting's very good. It's still like still slowly getting into it, but so far, so good and so tense, even without a lot of zombie stuff so far.
Yeah. I think the horror stuff that it's done so far has been as someone who doesn't like horror, it's as close to that line as I like. It's like some tension building and the occasional like very exciting moment, but it's not really just like gross jump scares. It's kind of a little more intellectual type of horror, a little bit more of that. It's that Rick and Morty. It's got that Key and Peele vibe. I mean, just the Peele, the Key and Peele. Also, I shouldn't be making Rick and Morty references anymore. I don't know if you heard about all that. Well, yeah. So he got replaced as both Rick and Morty. So. I've been saying. Has he actually? Yeah. I have been saying for years that you do a great Morty impression, so maybe you should throw your hat in the ring. Oh, jeez. Thank you. Good. Okay. I did it there. Just say dance, monkey, dance, and you obliged, and I appreciate you bailing me out there. The look in your eye was like, I don't want to do this. The look in your eye was like, it's 9 a.m. Don't make me. But you went for it, and I respect it. Just took my vitamins, bro. Yeah. It's the most reluctant. Jeez, Rick. God. But imagine if I just sat there and said, yeah. You just sit there completely silent. But anyway, The Last of Us is a pretty good show. Anyway, The Last of Us. I agree. I think it's broken the curse so far of the video game adaptation being dog shit. I think, obviously the acting's great. I think, what's her name from Game of Thrones is great as Ellie.
She is very good as Ellie.
You can see I can already feel the emotional heartbreak coming because they're kind of bonding a little bit, and then you can tell all shit's gonna go wrong and it's gonna be bad. But I also think, just the atmosphere and the all the effects and sets and stuff look amazing. And
yeah, it's a beautifully dystopian city.
Yeah, and I also can I just say I love about a zombie or an apocalypse kind of thing. It shouldn't be the whole thing because then it gets too much of a good thing. But I love that the initial point where it starts, because that it's the connection to our world, and that first episode where just all the chaos and you see the fucking the planes flying over and shit. And it felt very real. It
was also it was because it was quite well done as well, because although chaos, as you say, eventually does just kind of break loose, it is kind of a slow build where it starts in Jakarta, and then it slowly makes its way to a few houses and stuff like that, and just all of a sudden all chaos is loose. How quickly it escalates, and it was quite cool.
Yeah, and the catatonic grandma becoming reanimated basically. Terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you could really sense the stress and chaos through the screen, when they're going off road and just screaming the entire time, and it was. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And also I like have you've seen both episodes, yeah?
Yeah.
I like the beginning of the second one as well, with the stuff in Jakarta.
Yeah.
Little cheeky backstory as well. I enjoy.
Yeah, no, great building of tension and just the panic that kind of sets in. Also, not to make it all real worldy, but just I think it maybe helps a little bit with the realistic feeling thing that we just had kind of a worldwide pandemic. That obviously was not a zombie fungus apocalypse, but
sadly,
you can you can kind of imagine, because we just went through a thing where it spread so fast, and then you find out it's in this country and all this stuff. That you could
exactly
even relate to it more.
You kind of not fully relate to the horror. I mean, maybe even the horror part, but just the how fast it can spread.
Yeah. Also, fungus zombies. I mean, I guess I can't credit the show too much because it is from the game, but very cool update on kind of a tired trope of zombies. A very cool way of doing it.
And even though it obviously can't affect, I don't think, mammals or humans at all, it is a real thing that takes over insects and stuff like that. So it's a real thing.
I've seen the David Attenborough clips. He's the fungus is making its way through the ant's anus or whatever it does, and then it pops out of its fucking head.
It's positively defiling the ant. It's with its fungal power.
Yeah, no. So overall,
definitely something I assume you have. Fungal power.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's in my Tinder bio, actually. That's all it says. All uppercase.
BHL Hudson, not your real name. Fungal bio. I mean,
fungal bio. The picture is just a super close up of my face, just staring.
Somewhere in this picture, there's a hidden mushroom. Find it, and I'll go on a date with you.
Get no dates. No one can find it, but they try desperately.
The world weeps.
Anyway, Last of Us, very good so far. I'm a big fan. Although it is also, I'm not gonna lie, it's so kind of sad that I'm not necessarily excited to watch it. I'm oh, this is gonna be kind of a bummer, isn't it? But it's a little bit like a Game of Thrones-ish in a way, I guess. But
yeah. Whereas you can't not watch it, but it's not always something that brings you joy.
Yeah, but quite good. I'm gonna run through. I have 3 others here. I'm a speed round them.
Okay. Please.
I watched the first The Predator movie, just Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting the Predator.
The Predator? Weird Swedish Arnold.
Yeah. Very good movie. Yeah, I just I'm trying to work my way a little bit through the classics that I haven't seen. I've never seen Alien, I've never seen Predator, that kind of stuff. And just very good, very well done. Him and Apollo Creed having a bit of a team up, although Apollo's a bit of a bastard. Lots of nice brutal deaths. Great finale. Just a great action thriller. Everything you've kind of heard. It's that kind of movie when you watch the first Terminator or whatever, where you go I understand why this is so iconic,
Does, again, not having seen it, does Apollo die in this?
I will say spoilers for the Predator first movie, I think all but 2 characters do die, all but Arnold and the girl. So, yes, Apollo does die a brutal death.
A brutal death. How so?
I think he...
There's nothing I enjoy more than listening to Apollo's different deaths.
I think he gets... I can't even remember, because everyone dies. There's so many different deaths. He gets shot in the head. I think Apollo maybe gets shot through the chest. Yeah. I mean, there are also obviously some kind of goofy effects, but like when it's camouflaged and stuff, which by the way, I've never really gotten about the Predator, that it's like, it's camouflage thing. You can always see, like, it's not that camouflage.
Yeah, like you can see the kind of mirage kind of.
Yeah, but besides a couple like camouflaged Predator moments, the effects and like the costume and stuff for the actual Predator, crazy good, way better than the 2018 one. So yeah, good shit. I also rewatched the film Ted because I was feeling naughty.
Going from one horror to the next.
Just a pretty fun movie. I mean, it's. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever
stupid,
seen it.
But it's enjoyable.
It's very dumb, but it's
I haven't seen Ted 2, but I've seen Ted 1 a few times, and it's good.
It's basically like a live-action Family Guy episode. And I have to say, Mark Wahlberg, very charming. And
even though we said last time he's very good at making hateable characters.
That's the thing. Yeah, I was watching. I was like, oh, he's actually got a bit of a. Mark, you're making me blush over here.
Mark, God damn it, you're so handsome.
And I rewatched Kung Fu Panda 2 because Puss in Boots made me think of it, and I was like, you know what, I should watch that. That'd be kind of fun, and I did. It was pretty
weird connection, but I can respect it. It's pretty... These flashbacks to Shrek and stuff like that. You know what I should watch? Kung Fu Panda 2.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm gonna watch Ted tonight, actually.
I just watched Puss in Boots. You know what? Schindler's List sounds really good.
But yeah, no, just a kind of delightful time. I'm not gonna lie. A wholesome ending with Mr. Ping.
Mr. Ping, I do believe I cried when that happened. I'm your son. Oh, Poe!
That's a very good Mr. Ping.
Thank you. I pride myself.
But it also sounds like him having a heart attack.
Oh!
He just collapses. End of movie. Kung Fu Fighting starts playing. The credits are over Mr. Ping's funeral.
Everybody was as he's lowered into the ground, everyone's crying. He's got this really upbeat fight song on in the background. Like a flash of lightning.
As the dirt is emptied onto the grave.
As Tiger weeps.
Poe considers taking his own life. Sorry, that got too dark, but I can imagine it though.
It ends with Kung Fu fighting. I suppose sticks a gun in his mouth.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ.
The Dragon Warrior.
God. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Horrible.
Mr. Ping.
Paul. Anyway.
Oh, Poe.
That honestly, all jokes aside, that's a pretty good Mr. Ping.
Funeral society here. That's Mr. Ping.
If you have some
I do.
reviews.
I've got two small ones. We got not really a movie or series, but I've been watching a little bit of the Handball World Cup.
Yeah, it's the finale tonight, isn't it?
It is, and Denmark have just taken the world by storm.
I mean, Denmark's gonna win. Come on.
I mean, I hope so. If they win, it'll be the third time in a row. Never been done before. That'd be kind of cool.
We're the goats.
We're the goats. We got.
This was recorded on Sunday, by the way, just for the record. Yeah, Landin is a Moor.
He is a Moor, and we got Mikkel Hansen, who is an untamable lion beast.
Mikkel Hansen is absolutely the goat. He does. I say this with all love and respect. Does he not look a little bit like a Neanderthal? Like just with the hair and the kind. You see what I mean?
What a string of sentences. Mikkel Hansen, he's the goat. However, little Neanderthal-y.
It's like with that. He's a very handsome man, but just like with that hair, he kind of looks like the ones from Night at the Museum.
He is. He's like I fully get you.
Right.
He does look like. It's like he's like a Viking mixed with a Neanderthal that had a weird baby.
A more complimentary way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big handsome warrior mixed with a bit of caveman.
Bit of a pre-human species.
Have you seen any interviews with him? He's got he's this big, hairy, just like beastly looking guy, and he's got the squeakiest little voice.
I don't think I have seen him.
Like, hi guys.
But yeah, for the record, for those who don't know what we're talking about, I just realized handball is not a very worldwide known sport. Like no one here knows what handball is when I talk to them about it. But it is.
Oh really?
I mean, it's what it sounds like. It's like football with your hands, and Denmark is the best at it, and we have the GOAT, Megan Henson, on our team. Did we invent it?
Yeah, the GOAT. I think so.
I'm pretty sure we invented it. It's not that cool to be the best at it then if we invented it.
Okay, France is really good.
we perfected it. But yeah, no, it's I haven't been able to watch the games because I've been, kind of life stuff. But tonight I hope to catch the finale in the evening.
I would like to as well. And then, apart from that, I've also just finished a quick little anime miniseries. Please cue the intro.
Oh, here we go. It's been a while.
Bruh. I did, in fact, watch and finish, mainly on the plane rides, because it was something simple and easy to watch and do, something called Records of Ragnarok.
Ooh, okay. Sounds like it goes hard.
Sounds like it fucking slaps. Again, it's like a fighting arena type of anime. I forget if there's a proper name for that, but it's like the kind of premise is that the gods have gotten tired of humanity and want to kind of just like extinguish them, but then they give humanity one last chance to prove themselves, and it's like a big tournament where so there's 13 gods and 13 humans throughout history. And it's a one-on-one, battle between them, and then whoever wins the majority. So if humans win the majority, they get to exist for another 1,000 years, and if the gods win, then they're dead. So it's, and then you're pitted up. It's like Thor against this like Chinese or Mongolian warrior from history, and then it's Adam, like the first man, against Zeus and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
It's actual people from history.
Yeah, it's actual people and then actual gods, So it's quite cool. I mean, they do rewrite some history a few times, but it is in essence the gods and stuff like that, and they're weird anime versions of them. But it was quite cool. It's a fun premise. It's easy to watch, and yeah, I give a lot of animes out of 13 Mr. Pings.
That sounds like one of the cooler premises you mentioned. I'm more for the animes of hardcore god battle arena stuff than no offense, but I'm on the volleyball team.
No, you son of a bitch! You take that back.
No, yeah, fair enough.
Instead of what was it? Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, I'll never let you forget that one.
I stand by it. That's a great anime. Anyways, and I think that's all the mini reviews I've got.
Well, time for some news. Speaking of kind of anime-ish vibes to some of it, maybe you can refute that if you disagree. But did you see the little teaser for Invincible Season 2?
You best believe I did.
With a little Seth Rogen in the diner scene. Very delightful.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I won't lie, I wasn't a huge fan of the first Invincible.
Yeah, this is one of our rare disagreements. Or not even disagreements, just differences of opinion. I was a very massive fan. You were a slimmer fan.
It was good. It just felt like it. As I'm sure, I don't know if it intended to, but it felt like The Boys a little bit, but I don't know. I can't exactly pinpoint what I didn't like about it. It just didn't really hook me.
Was it some of the kind of cheap-looking animation sometimes?
I think it might have been.
But, yeah, it was it wasn't really a teaser of, the actual footage of the next season, but just a fun little Seth Rogen Invincible kind of meta convo in the diner, which was a nice reminder also, because what I mainly remember from Invincible is the horrific blood and guts stuff, and it's nice to remember that it's nice to be grounded. Yeah, it's a little fun and it's a little goofy sometimes, and has a Seth Rogen alien who's a bit of fun. So yeah, that's coming late 2023. I guess that will replace Rick and Morty as my most hyped sci-fi animated show.
Damn.
No.
And why is that? What's happened to Rick and Morty?
I don't know. I don't know if you heard, but jeez, Rick. Sorry.
Jeez, Rick.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Morty.
There you go. We've done it, and that was Rick and Morty season
that's
7,
not great.
guys. We just spoiled the entire thing. You're welcome.
God, I don't know how it's gonna be without him. I mean,
I think they can.
I get the reasoning behind it.
It's like if Mickey Mouse, the guy who voices Mickey Mouse, dies, which he probably has 50 times. Like, it's just, it's not like it's his face.
Yeah, but
you can find someone who can do a good enough Rick and Morty impression. If we get like Mr. Ping as Rick, that would actually be really good.
Watch the shit out of that.
That'd be fucking great. And Jack Black as
So
Morty. We've done it.
God, I love it.
That's actually really
and
good.
Morgan Freeman as Summer.
Okay, great. Have you seen that video, by the way, of Morgan Freeman from the 70s in like his big disco costume? And he's like
I
dancing.
thought you said and his big dick.
Have you seen that Morgan Freeman sex tape from the 70s? It's nuts, bro. You won't believe how flexible
Literally,
he is.
he's just
Literally.
man can bend in all sorts of different directions.
Anyway, speaking of God, I have no transition here. Oh, okay.
Morgan Freeman's massive 70s penis.
Well, speaking of a naughty take on a classic wholesome thing, as in Morgan Freeman sex jokes, there is in fact a sequel in the works to Violent Night.
Ooh, I will gladly watch.
A little bit of that Harbors on a mad one. That's the subtitle.
A Harbor Madness story.
It's the longest running saga in cinema. Yeah, but what do you think about that?
I mean, I enjoyed the first Violent Night. I think I enjoy watching Harbor up on the screen, and if they just stick to the similar kind of not low budget, but not a hugely overcomplicated story, and just like kind of making it a smaller movie, if you get what I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah,
They shouldn't make it into like a big Santa's gonna like save New York kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think they probably will to like up the stakes, and also because you can't like it's one of those movies where he kind of learned his lesson. He learned to be more jolly, so like you can't really do the same like fun like Santa's.
I mean, I don't think it needs a sequel whatsoever.
No, but to be fair, I didn't think the first one needed to exist, and it was fun. So
It's true.
Gotta-
It could just be a weird law drama about his divorce with Mrs. Claus.
that would be pretty dope. Who do you get as the attorney?
Morgan Freeman in the 70s.
All right, great. I was hoping you'd go there. Totally nude though.
We've done it. We've created the ultimate sequel.
I wonder why we don't have lucrative Hollywood jobs yet. We bring so much to the table.
We bring enormous amounts to the table.
We then have. Did you see? I'm sure you didn't, but did you see the trailer for Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods?
What is this weird kind of neglect? We mean, surely I didn't watch it.
I'm sorry. Did you?
I could have watched it.
Did you?
No,
Did you? Yeah, that's what I thought.
not at all.
That's what I thought. I think I have. Look at you getting all snuggly over there. I see you snuggling up in your fucking Hobbit blanket. What is happening? I just see you getting all cozy like you're sitting by the fire as you wait for me to discuss the Shazam trailer.
I'm here for a good time.
But basically, I got some controversial takes here, all right? I'm going to throw this out here.
Ooh, okay.
And this is...
Is this a Ghostbusters kind of thing?
Well, it might be. And this is something that I've thought about because, like... I don't want to say we've built our podcasting career on superhero movies. I think that's where it started, and I think we've, evolved.
And then we grew as men.
We talk about them a lot. It's fun to talk about. We still enjoy, but we talk about other things as well, as evidenced from this pod so far. And I'm just kind of parts of me thinks like, are superhero movies kind of becoming more tired? Am I kind of growing out of it? What's happening? And then a superhero movie will come along and it's like, oh, this is actually really, really fun. I really like this. A lot of stuff last year was like that. But then I'll see something like this trailer.
and then I see Shazam, and I hate it.
Then I see this trailer, and I legitimately, I say this with no disrespect to anyone
Shat myself.
who like watched it and thinks that looks really fun. Obviously, to each their own. To me, this is the first superhero movie in a while where I was like, this really looks like a little kids movie. You know what I mean? Which, to be fair,
okay.
Most superhero movies are for kids. Like, it's not like I'm watching the Ant-Man trailer and being like, oh my god, the most adult drama I could ever hope for. But the thing is, with a lot of those, like, even, another example, Puss in Boots, kids movie, can be enjoyed by adults. And the superhero movies are made for, that early teen kind of demographic.
Yeah.
But still.
Teen, preteen kind of thing.
There's a reason they're so popular, is that they can still be enjoyed by the rest of society on a level. And this is the first one in a while where I was just thinking...
and Shazam will be enjoyed by no one.
It's like, either I'm getting too old for this stuff, or this movie specifically looks... I'll put it like this. It looked like a McDonald's kids toy kind of movie. You know what I mean? I don't know if they still do that, but they used to have the Happy Meals with the toys.
Like the Happy Meals, and I don't know if they still do, but
God,
I get what you mean.
What a boomer reference.
What was so bad about it?
It was really... I don't know. I don't know if I'm becoming more of a pretentious cinema asshole from, like, all of my friends being film students now, but, like...
I mean, given the books you have to read, I would not blame you if you were.
But it just looked, like, not... Like, I genuinely kind of think I'll just skip it, unless it gets really good reviews, because it looked... the green screen's kind of bad. It looks like a really goofy plot, but I can't even say that it's like, it looks so goofy and dumb, because like most superhero movies are goofy and dumb. But this one in particular, just watching, I was like, this looks just especially.
Does it look lazy?
It just look, yeah, it's just like the jokes are all very hammy kind of kids movie jokes, and like there's a part where the villain is sitting there talking to him, and he's like, "Okay, let me just say, you are so intimidating," and it was like. Come on, Zachary.
God.
I don't
shit.
And like all the action scenes and stuff, I'm not trying to be like an asshole here, because I was thinking like, if I'm a kid watching this, like, yeah, this looks like a fun kids movie. Basically what I'm trying to say is it didn't appeal to me at all, and I'm not trying to be like, I'm better than you, I'm a film student, whatever. I think if you watched it, I feel like you would have a similar take, but...
I thought you were going to say, if you watch it, you'd really enjoy it. I was going to be really offended.
If you watched it, your little pea brain would really enjoy it. That's the thing. I hate like talking like this, because it makes it sound like I'm saying like, oh, if you enjoyed it, like you're just a little kid, and that's fine. It's fine for kids to enjoy stuff.
Yeah, like it's fine if you've got no freaking standards whatsoever for cinema.
Like again, I don't care. Both loved Puss in Boots. You know what I mean? It's not like I just thought this.
Puss in Boots is a great film.
As you hunch in the Hobbit cape, I don't know.
How bloody dare you?
I was not here for it personally. Then again, I didn't really love the first Shazam movie either. So
yeah, I was gonna say you didn't love the first one either. I mean, I thought the first one was pretty good.
But the first one
kind of an Ant-Man kind of vibe.
The first one was more fun than this one looks, and it looked like it had more like kind of panache to it than this one.
And the only crime you did commit, we stole
my panache.
Wait.
I feel like I may get some Ghostbusters as Kate off of this, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. You love the drama.
I love the drama, but that's the thing. I'm still looking forward to like Ant-Man and stuff. So I don't know what's happened to me. We'll see though. Speaking of real cinema though, should we talk Babylon?
I think we should talk Babylon.
And here's actually the hate train is not going to stop, because let me get my phone and just read you some comments I got on my Letterboxd review real quick.
Ooh, okay. Is this? I mean, I got rare FDKL on my Letterboxd. Well, yeah. Is this going to be a beautiful moment of union?
I think this might be one of our first moments of friendship between us, where I gave it 2.5 stars, right? And I wrote...
Me too!
Oh, let's go.
Me too!
I wrote pitiful. And then in parentheses, I wrote, not really, it was alright. So then I get comments. Rare BHL Hudson. Massive L, very rare. Putting the L in BHL right now. Common BHL. Sad for things to come. Massive L. Massive Hudson L bigger than the Hudson nose. And I did get one common BHL dub, and one of my friends wrote, "Don't listen to these fools, BHL. This is a common dub, not L." But
Turning you become BHW Hudson.
BH Dubson. Also, the film guys have started just inserting BHL Hudson into everything. So as we're strolling down the street, they just look at me and go, "BHL Watson." I was like, God damn it, why?
That's so good.
But I had some divided thoughts on this.
Me too. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
What did you think overall? What's your takeaway coming out of it?
I will say overall, I find it. I did not hate it at all, but I did not like it not nearly as much as I felt I should have liked it. Mainly because I don't know, it's a very weird thing because there wasn't something. I mean, there's a few things, especially the ending, but like the entire thing just blended together in something that seemed a bit of a mess to me. And it was. I found it like when I left, I find it very difficult to pinpoint and actually explain exactly why I didn't enjoy it. But I didn't enjoy it.
I have a similar.
There's enjoyable moments.
Yeah.
Pitt, I thought was very good. There's a few good Margot moments. Tobey Maguire was so out of place, I thought. But
Tobey Maguire spoilers for Babylon. Should we just go full spoilers from here? Let's go.
Yeah,
spoilers.
let's go full spoilers.
Time goes down below. The Tobey Maguire sex party dungeon part of the movie, I thought was hilarious. Just the way it comes out of
I was like, what the hell is it?
It's just a guy eating a rat and stuff, and it was interesting. I kind of agree where it's hard to say exactly what I don't like, and I think a big chunk of the first part of the movie, first half, maybe even first 2/3, I'll be honest, I was very much on board for. I was like,
me too. Especially like the first half. I think I was I very much enjoyed it. I think I would give it like 3.5, 4 stars if it continued that way. But
even if it kind of like ended after like the 2-hour 10-minute mark or something, it has, as I kind of mentioned in the video, it like the whole movie is very chaotic, but in the first half of it, it has like. It feels like it's like focused chaos, like the director isn't chaotic.
Even though it's chaos, there is some cohesion there.
Yeah, like the party scene and all that. It feels like very purposeful chaos, and like you're kind of sitting there like, oh my god, like what's happening, in kind of like a cool way, like oh my god, this all this shit.
It's just what the 20s was like.
This is cinema right here. And then towards the end, it kind of feels like the movie just becomes chaotic in the sense that you're asking like, what is happening? Like it's just kind of like going in all these directions, and you're like. Yeah, it feels like no one told him like maybe we can cut it here, maybe we can cut this down.
It felt like
who let him cook?
The movie could have ended like.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Outdated reference already.
It's brilliant. but no, it was like I thought like it could have ended 30-40 minutes earlier, like because there. It feels like there's different, like a bunch of different endings for the same characters, where it's like it just keeps on going, and I'm like, stop this.
Yeah, that one of the worst things I feel like a movie that's already really long can do is when you're kind of wanting to leave already, and then it has a bunch of kind of like fake out endings. Because then you can feel the crowd, like the audience, start to be like, oh, okay, it's time to leave, and then like another scene starts, and it's kind of like this like. This sort of dejected, like, we're still going. And I don't know. I think, early on, it's almost like it's kind of two different movies, because early on, there are these really long, extended sequences that I thought were so cool and so well done, like the one where it's like Brad Pitt's movie and Margot Robbie's first like performance, and it's intercut, and he's trying to get the camera, and it's all this chaos, and it goes on for a really long time.
See, that stuff, it goes on for a long time, but that chaos, again, is good chaos, where it's kind of like you kind of see how like I guess stressful or like again chaotic the movie industry was back then.
Yeah,
but it works.
Yeah, and
like the I think that like that whole scene and the party scene were my two favorites.
Yeah, I also enjoyed the first like the Hello College scene where they're trying to get the sound to work whenever, and it's showing like how difficult it is for silent actors to transition to sound.
I like that as. Yeah, I liked it, but I did think it could have been like they could have removed 1 or 2 takes. I think.
Yeah, it went on a little long, but
It did go on for a long time. I like the payoff where the guy just literally dies.
When I was watching all those scenes, though, I was thinking like, oh, okay, so this is why it's 3 hours long. Because it has a lot of scenes like this that are really long. But that's not really it. It's because it has a bunch of those scenes early on, and then later in the movie, it's just kind of like, and here we are, like now Manny's managing this part of the studio, and now Margot Robbie's career is up and down, and there's a way to do like repetitiveness, because I got part of the point of her character is like, she keeps getting kind of second chances and she keeps fucking it up because she's, a very damaged person, whatever. And there's a way of doing that without making like the audience feel like, oh, this movie is just kind of like going on and on and on. There's a way to convey that she's kind of keeps fucking up and over and over and over again without making the audience go like, what the fuck? Come on. Like, let's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll also say, yeah. I mean, should we talk? I know. Please finish what you were gonna say.
I was gonna say, like, everything technically, like the style, the cinematography, the music, like it's such a amazing film, like stylistically, and I can see why some people adore it because like it's so like aesthetically, there's a lot to like.
Yeah, but again, I think the movie relies way too heavily on that, where I think it's like, oh, they kind of thought this is so aesthetically pleasing, people are just gonna like. People can't say it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
But it's not an enjoyable watch towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, what were you going to say before?
I was just going to say, do we want to talk characters?
Sure.
What are we thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's that they're that unique of characters. Like, they're kind of characters we've seen before, but I think they're well performed, and I did a little bit of reading afterwards about, like, who they're based on, and it's interesting, like, Jack Conrad is, I can't even remember their names now, but he's based on this very famous, silent film star who then everything kind of fell apart when he transitioned to, like, talking films. And Margot Robbie is based on this, like, kind of sex symbol of the time who then also had these, like, really traumatic family experiences. It's almost like reading about Margot Robbie's, the person she was based on, makes her character more interesting because, like, it's basically her backstory. Like, you find out, like, her mother was like a schizophrenic person, which they kind of hint at in the movie when she's in that mental asylum, which again was a little bit weird. They sort of just like drop it in there, and then I get like they were just trying to like hint like she's had a hard upbringing and whatnot. But
yeah, but it was a little out of place.
Yeah.
I liked Manny.
I thought Manny was great. I really like that actor. I've never seen him in anything before, and I hope he gets some.
No, same.
Big roles.
Yeah, he was really really good, and I thought Pitt overall very enjoyable. I will say probably my biggest hatred for this movie was that the wasn't in the movie.
They did cut that out, yeah. A horrible choice.
Which I cannot. Yeah, terrible choice from Giselle.
He was good though,
and Margot in. You're going.
I was gonna say about Pitt. I think he played really well, and this kind of plays into a lot of these like troubled film star characters. Even a little bit. I was thinking a little Bradley Cooper Star is Born, but in a different way, where like he's clearly like a complete mess and like this like degenerate person, but then he has this just like magical charisma when the camera turns on that just makes everyone love him. Yeah. And I think he played that really well. Not saying Brad Pitt is a degenerate, but I think he was like a perfect guy to play that role because he. Well, actually, I'm just realizing there have been some allegations against Brad Pitt. So anyway.
Yeah, maybe he truly was the perfect choice.
But, like it was a great choice with him being that kind of actor where the camera's on him and like people just want to watch because he's so charismatic and whatnot.
Exactly. No, it was very very good. I will say, didn't feel like he had to kill himself. Won't lie.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll be honest. That part was kind of very predictable. Again, kind of in a Star is Born way. Like you've seen his character type before, and it usually ends with a suicide.
Yeah, but I think Star is Born is a lot more realistic and justifiable. This one, I mean, again, as we'll touch on more, like with the whole ending when we talk about that, I think the movie gets a little bit pretentious. Not so much Pitt's like whole thing here, but like he gets very like, oh, what is my craft? What is it's like just you don't like you can think about it, but you don't. I mean, and he kills himself. I mean, you can see it coming, but it does. If you think about it, like logically, it does come as a little bit of a like obviously his movies haven't been doing great, but they haven't been doing like Like, he's still making money, and he's like, yeah, it's a bad movie, it's whatever, And then he just offs himself. I don't know. I did not think he had to do it, personally.
Yeah, I kind of disagree. I'm not saying he had to do it, but in the sense that, like...
if he didn't kill himself, it'd be a terrible movie.
But in the sense of, like, I kind of got the, like... not only is his career kind of fucked and, like, his aspirations of, doing something great with the craft of cinema are kind of fucked as well. But, like, just like the burnout from all the alcohol and drugs and failed relationships and sort of like, I took it more like less like his career is failing and just like as a person, he's just been going 100 miles an hour for so many years that just like his body and mind are just like, it's just kind of fucked at this point. But I get you.
I get you.
It did feel a little bit less like a heartbreaking moment, kind of like I guess we'll compare it to A Star Is Born, where it's like, fuck, like that is really terrible. And more like, this movie's gonna make this choice for the character. Like now he's gonna, because that's like what a movie would do, kind of thing,
Yeah, exactly. No, that was beautifully put.
Oh God.
God.
What do we think?
Should we talk Margot?
I thought she was really, really good.
I thought she was really good, but then towards the end, goddamn, did I get annoyed at the character. Again, she played it well, but I was like, so many stupid choices, stupid decisions, and just...
Yeah,
I don't know, like, she got a little bit grating towards the end.
No, for sure. But I guess that's a little bit the point, is that she's just such a mess, and, like, she'll never be able to kind of fix that about herself, I guess. Which poor Manny, he gets dragged into all of it. Like, a tragic character... that I think she played well. I liked the part where the director's like, why, like, how do you cry like that? And she's like, just think of home. And that was sort of like a, leaves a bit to the imagination. Which apparently, by the way, is something the real actress that she's based on said, because she had such a, abusive and, like, terrible upbringing. But yeah, I thought she was good. I think, to be fair, to play devil's advocate a little bit here, the fact that the movie becomes more messy, less interesting to watch, and kind of more sad and whatever is a little bit, I think, intentional in the sense that, like, to show, there's, like, the party and there's the crazy fun and, like, insanity, and the movie's kind of crazy fun, and then it sort of all kind of crumbles. But the movie also does feel unintentionally a bit messy.
Yeah, again, I think he is just kind of, he's trying to be overly artistic and aesthetic with it, and again, as I say, I think towards the end it gets pretentious.
Yeah,
and it's just like the end part where he's sitting in the cinema. I was like, fuck off. It was so. I just sat there like, I really hated it. I genuinely sat. I was like, we have to talk
about the ending in a second because I'm very curious to get your thoughts on it. Before we do that, I will just say two things. One, on Damien Chazelle. Obviously, I absolutely love some of his movies, and he's extremely talented. I do think he maybe would be kind of an annoying guy to have a conversation with. Like, I just kind of get that vibe from the movies. Like, if you're talking about movies specifically, I feel like he might be a little bit.
He might be a little bit of a
Like, we all know, especially as a film school student, we all know some of those people who are kind of who don't even appreciate the Shazam 2 trailer, who are kind of pretentious assholes.
I bet Damien would not appreciate the Shazam 2.
No, I don't think he's a pretentious asshole, but you kind of you get the idea of like. Sometimes it also...
We do get that vibe.
Like, he has a certain... You know what I'm trying to say. I also think...
Yeah, I do know what
he maybe was trying a little too hard at some points to be, like, edgy. Like, it's like, look, I made La La Land, and that was all fantasy, cutesy, whatever. Now look at this fucking naked homeless man eat a rat, and they're all doing drugs, and they're all, like, fucking each other, and look at titties and stuff. And
I got range, bitch!
Which, like, generally was pretty well done, but sometimes it felt a little bit like, look at this, isn't this edgy? And I was like, Also, can we just real quick talk about some of the cast members that I was watching, I was like, I think that's who that is, but I didn't really realize. So first of all, Tobey Maguire's in this. No, we have...
But that looked exactly like he normally looks.
Samara Weaving, the woman, from Ready or Not.
Okay.
Who was Margot Robbie's, like, co-star. I was just like, she looked very familiar, and I was like, who is that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then we also have where is it? I was like, surely they wouldn't get Flea to be in this. But in fact, Eddie No-Nos does make an appearance, right? And I was like,
what is it? What is
he's
it?
like some producer or something. And
is he the German producer?
He's the one who talks to Manny, who's like, we got to do something about Margot Robbie. And
okay.
I was just like, that looks a lot like that's a no page 1, and it is. So good for him. But yeah, should we talk the ending here? And this is something I touched on in my video, quite diplomatically, I'd like to say. But I don't know if you've seen this. I've seen a lot of TikToks of people being like, POV, you're watching the ending of Babylon, and it's them being like mind blown, and all the comments are like, I can't fucking believe it. I saw the movie twice just to see that ending montage. I was crying. At first I thought I was being duped. I was like, am I being pranked here?
Dang it. I thought it was, I mean, I have not seen those, but you saying that, I would sit there and be like, is this people being ironic?
There's a
sarcastic?
huge online, and to be fair, again, it is the TikTok thing that I've seen this from, so like, some of these people probably haven't even seen the movie. They're just like, that'd be a cool trend to be like, oh my god, the ending of Babylon.
Yeah.
But I don't get it.
I really did not enjoy it.
I thought it was
whatsoever.
fine. I didn't hate it.
It was so pretentious. I hated it.
Okay, the montage I thought was kind of goofy. I thought that was pretty, like the montage of movies. I saw one comment that was like, and again, this is what I could have sworn people were joking because they were like, oh my god, when the T-1000 showed up, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, when the T-1000 showed up,
why can't
when
you
there
believe
was
that?
like a YouTube montage of movies at the end of this movie, like I mean, I get what they were going for. It's like, oh my god, he did have an impact on cinema, and look what cinema became. But it's like, kind of goofy to put like fucking Avatar at the end of your movie, and B,
I did think so. It was a little.
It's also weird. The thing that weirded me out about it was, he's a fictional character. I know he represents people who were real, but if it had been like a real documentary about like this guy who really wanted to make an impact on cinema, and then it's like, and look at what cinema became. But because it's a fictional character, that also weirded me the fuck out with the Sound of Music stuff. The Singing in the Rain stuff. Yeah. Because it's like, at the end of the movie, they show stuff from Singing in the Rain, and it's like, oh my god, like, we influenced Singing in the Rain. But it's like, you're a fictional character. No, like, it's not that impressive or interesting because you just made up a character who influenced Singing in the Rain and then had him be amazed by it. It's like, you know what I mean? I was like, that's not...
I totally know what you mean. I just sat there and, the whole thing like, we actually did something. We influenced cinema. No, you didn't.
You don't exist, Billy.
You just don't exist, Billy. Manny, wake up. You're living in someone else's head.
Manny, you are cinema.
Yeah. Watch him just get his mind blown when he realized how meta this is. No, I don't know. I just sat there, and it was such a long thing as well. I was just sitting there like...
It did go on for
it went on for so long. And like, both me and my girlfriend, we just like, kind of sat, we're like, oh my god. Like, it's very rare where in a movie that will look over at exactly the same time unprompted and just be like, that happened multiple times in this montage. It was like, oh my god. I hated it. It was so just... Again... This is not me saying I hated the whole movie. I liked other parts of the movie so much, but this ending was so bad, so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
he comes in was like 15, 20 years later. He's got a kid and stuff like that, and he's like, "Daddy used to work here," and then he goes up, like, to the security guard, "Make any good movies?" Nah, whatever. And then they go in, and it's like, I did this. No, you didn't, Manny.
In a weird way, it feels like Damien Chazelle is trying to take credit for Singing in the Rain.
Damien Chazelle's trying to take credit for all of cinema. Like, stop it,
Chazelle
Damien.
Made Avatar? ?
He made Singing in the Rain.
No, yeah, like, I personally, I didn't hate it, but I do get where you're coming from. I get more where you're coming from than I do people who say they, like, couldn't believe how amazing it was. And it's like...
It was so average, if not bad.
It's like, I think what people maybe are referring to, and again, I'm trying not to be mean here of, like... Because maybe we missed something, but I'm not trying to be, like, the lowest common denominator audience doesn't understand character arcs. But I think people are like... Oh my god, like, he said he wanted to have an impact on cinema, and then he sees he did have an impact on cinema. And to me, I'm thinking, like, that's just what, like, a character arc is. Like, it's not that. Which is why I was watching, I was like, okay, that's like a decent end for his character's story. But that's like every movie has an end to a character's story. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that.
I mean, it wasn't anything
that
super special.
Like, it's like, it truly baffled me when I saw all that. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
You saying that, I mean, I can believe it because, again, not to hate on TikTok, but there's some people who say things
and not to hate on our own audience, because clearly our own audience loves Babylon, so I feel like we're going to get some shit for this.
This is going to be a big poorly planned podcast.
This is the most
hateful. 20-minute rant of Babylon. But yeah, I genuinely I did not enjoy it at all.
Also, I love how we've hated on the two ends of the spectrum. Be like, this superhero movie garbage is so kid movie, whatever. And then this.
I think have I just grown out of it?
And then it's like, this movie's too pretentious, so fucking boring.
God, I need a good middle ground. Get me Ted.
Get me Ted. Jesus Christ.
No, that is cinema.
You just imagine being like a rich guy sitting in your mouth, like, waiter, bring me Ted. Presents the DVD on a platter.
Mark Wahlberg is tied up like a hog, apple in his mouth, sent in.
Oh, Jesus. Mark Wahlberg is in Tobey Maguire's sex dungeon.
As the rat?
Yeah, by the way, can we just... Tobey Maguire, what an interesting performance.
Yeah, what interesting choice from Damien there.
I enjoyed him. I thought he was funny, just like in his Tobey Maguire-ness. Yeah. It was funny though, when the reveal, like it panned over and it was Tobey, like half the cinema chuckled, because they're just like, no, it's Tobey.
It's Tobey. Everyone's kind of like weird cousin that he's kind of like.
It's Tobey. Also, I don't know. One other thing, just a random kind of nitpicky thing. But, like, the movie also had weirdly different tones, where sometimes it was super ridiculous, and then sometimes it was more, like, grounded and real, where then, like, when his fucking prop friend is like, oh yeah, I got you $250,000, and then they get there and he's like, oh, I got you prop money, as if it's like a fucking...
I know, I was like
a comedy from the 80s or something. Like, so it was like...
It's an SNL skit.
Like, yeah, like, who would... Like, what grown adult would be... That's not even like, oh my god, Hollywood was so chaotic, they paid mobsters with, like, prop money. It's just like, who would do this besides possibly Ted? Like...
Like, it's so stupid. Like, yeah. He knows they're going to see a mobster. It's like, yeah, it's fake money. Like,
yeah. You think the mobster wouldn't test if it's prop money? Like, that you can find out if you literally just drop a drop of water on it? Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey,
maybe we didn't get it. Maybe we're not good enough for cinema, for the Kino. But yeah.
For the Kino.
For the Kino.
Maybe we're just not made for the Kino.
Honestly, that is what this pod should have been titled. Not made for the Kino.
I mean, that also works, I think.
Made for Ted.
Not made for Kino, made for Wahlburgers.
Yeah, I like how the two things we've talked like most positively about in the past 2 episodes have been Ted and Family Guy. That really shows where we're at in our lives.
Yeah, that's not great. It's really not great. Seth MacFarlane's got a hold over us. We haven't touched on the trumpet guy. What do you think?
Oh, the trumpet guy.
I don't remember his name, hence why I called him the trumpet guy.
The trumpet guy. Sydney something. I thought he was good. I mean, there were little plot lines like that were, like...
useless.
Solid, but they felt... I don't know. Yeah, they felt kind of like a...
filler.
A little bit. Like, I get what it was all... Like, everything kind of had a purpose. Like, I get it was to show,
it showed different aspects and different cultures and
Manny has become, kind of this cold studio exec and, again, like, also the cultural stuff and, like, what African Americans went through in the early times of Hollywood and all that. But just the integration into it felt so much more... I feel like you could have done it focused at the start.
Yeah, you could do it a lot because he felt like a bit of a... one of the, maybe not the main character, but like a strong supporting character, right? And then it seems like he's almost forgotten a little bit and then just kind of like put in throughout a few different places.
Yeah.
I forget, how does his arc end? / does it?
I think they show him at the end and he goes back to playing in like jazz clubs. which
Oh yeah, true.
is, fine, I guess. Man, Damien Chazelle loves his jazz clubs as well.
He does love his jazz clubs.
He loves one of them shots where you zoom right in on the trumpet. He fucking goes bananas. Right? He just gets super hard whenever he moves the camera. It's like, and now we go
Oh my God,
right into the trumpet.
Right into the trumpet. God.
God. Anyway, enough on Damien Chazelle going right into that trumpet. Overall, I have mixed feelings on it. At the very least, it was interesting enough to, after I saw the movie, I spent like an hour talking about it with my friends. I much prefer a movie that has like a lot of shit going on that's interesting to talk. You can't say this movie wasn't going for a lot.
Exactly. It just went for too much.
It went for too much, yeah.
And yeah, I prefer that over a boring mess of it. I mean, just like boring blah movie.
Yeah.
But and again, parts I really liked, but overall, just not my cup of tea. Call me not intellectual enough, but
call you not the Kino Man.
Call me
6.3 out of 10.
Your review suggests otherwise. 2.5.
Well, by the way, we should clear this up sometime. My Letterboxd reviews and my actual scores are different. My actual scores are like a school report, you know what I mean? Where like a 65 is like failing and like or just barely passing, and then like a 70 is like okay and all this. And the Letterboxd, I just feel like out of 5 stars, like you do it a different scale. You know what I mean? I can't explain it.
I don't know. I think you could just easily translate that to a out of 10.
All right.
Because if you look at what you've done here, you've basically said it's 5 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's the thing, because like if you get a 50% on a grade, you're like, oh my god, I totally failed. But you get 2.5 stars, you're like, okay, I did okay. It's a different scale. I'm not crazy. I can't be the only one who thinks this.
Okay, I see. Your justification is okay, but your mind is bananas.
That's fair.
But yeah,
bananas. I still can't believe you have a photo of us two shirtless on your Instagram captioned bananas, which we just thought was a funny Baby Driver reference at the time, but in hindsight looks hella sus. Anyway, what would you give it out of 10?
I'm going to stick with my 2.5.
Damn it.
Translate that into a 5 out of 10 because that's what normal people do.
Well, with that in mind, we're going to move on to
the Cnews.
Now, we have here today, the Timecodes kind of ties into an actual piece of news.
Ooh.
We're going to talk about some Oscar nom-noms.
Not the nom-noms. Can I just say, the Timecodes can never be topped by what happened last week.
No, yeah, we just have to accept that, I'm sorry. The cake news was was as good as it's going to get, ever. But in the meantime, we just have a congratulatory, weird how I said that, piece of Tom Cnews. Top Gun Maverick nominated for Best Picture.
Ooh.
Bit of a mad one, but also...
That is a bit of a mad one. I mean,
kind of deserved.
I like it. I'd say deserves, but I would not expect it.
Right? I mean, I wouldn't...
Is Babylon nominated?
It is not, no. I think Babylon was only nominated for costume design and shit like that.
Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but...
But yeah, I mean, nothing else too crazy, just kind of ones you'd expect, and they're good choices. I'm hoping to see Colin Farrell bring it home. The whole cast of Banshees of Inisherin was nominated, which is cool.
Very nice.
But also, Avatar was nominated for Best Picture.
I also get that.
Yeah, big dub.
Big dub but okay. But no Violent Night is what you're telling me.
No, big L. I will say there is a headline here from thenews.com.pk where it says Tom Cruise steps out for dinner in London. Of course he's in fucking London, this Cruise guy.
Fucking loves London, this bitch.
Best Actor Oscar snub. Now, are they implying Tom Cruise should have been nominated for Best Actor for Top Gun Maverick? Because let's be honest here. Top Gun Maverick's appeal is not in the nuance of Tom Cruise's performance. Like,
no, I think he does a really good performance, but I would not say...
But he is not... Anyway...
I mean, again, I haven't seen the other the
Oscar nominees?
The Oscar nominees. So I don't know what he's pitted up against,
Well, we have him against Brendan Fraser from The Whale, which by all accounts was a great performance. Austin Butler in Elvis, which was a great performance. Okay. Colin Farrell in Banshees, which was great. And the last two I haven't seen, but Bill Nye is in there. Fucking Davy Jones.
Who? Oh, Bill, I thought you said Bill Nye. I was like, what is he doing there?
Yeah, Bill Nye, just acclaimed Oscar winner. But yeah, Cruise.
Okay, I mean, I guess, again, Cruise is one of my favorite actors, probably more so than the rest of those people on that list. But in terms of actual acting chops, probably not in the same league.
Yeah, although I have to say, this pic of Cruise leaving the restaurant, kind of swaggy. I'm not gonna lie. He's sort of rocking the casual look. He's just He looks a bit like a dad or something. I'm kind of liking this look for Cruise.
Can you send me the link? I need to see it.
I'll send the pic. Give me a second.
Ah, okay. He looks kind of tired and old.
Isn't that the dad look that I was referencing?
I guess. I mean, he does look swagged out, but he looks kind of sad.
I mean, I was kind of joking when I said he doesn't actually look swagged out. He just looks like a dad, and I kind of respect it. I don't know. He's just like me.
I mean, a man who's not a dad should not look like a dad. Usually he's just like you.
He is a dad.
Is he? Is he?
Of course he's a dad. He has like 50 kids.
Does he?
He has 3.
Okay, I mean, he's just such a, like, I don't know, he's an institution. You never hear about those kids.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on to the announcements and such. Read some comments. Joe C. lists some of his favorite villains. He says Darth Vader, Thanos. Oh, we didn't mention Thanos. That's an L. Ledger's Joker, Green Goblin, Gollum, T-1000, Darth Maul, Predator, Barbossa, and Voldemort. But nobody's better than Miles Braun because he's just dumb. I like that assertion. ZJ says, this is one of the funniest pods you guys have done. 2525 sent me, and the bit about Hanks loving Cruise's cake had me dying. Thank you, ZJ. Glad you enjoyed.
Glad you enjoyed the cake talk.
Josie says, I was on the floor when you read that Tom Cruise cake article. I have no idea what's funnier, the fact that the article said those exact words on there, or you and Freddie's reaction to the article. I love this episode. Thank you, Josie. Glad you enjoyed. Al says, hey guys, I just want to say that in less than 3 weeks, it would have been 5 years since I first discovered the pod when I watched the Ben and Fred Watch video on the first Incredibles movie, February 15th. So thanks for 5 great and funny years, Benedict and Frederick. Ow.
God, so wholesome. I saw this, and then there was like some hate in the comments.
NMS says, what a fake fan. Real fans of the pod have been watching for 5 years, 8 months, 2 weeks, and 2.5 days. And Alfeld says, well, I was actually looking forward to more Ben and Fred watches rather than the actual pod at first. So I think what's happened here is NMS has come in with a bit of a meme, and Alfeld has admitted that he hates the pod and only watches the Ben and Fred watches. So you are blocked, Al. No, thank you so much. We appreciate your dedication to the pod over the years. Then, yeah, glad
you are blocked, Al.
Glad you enjoyed. Thanks for sticking with us. NMS says the Gone Girl mention makes me want to recommend a potential ranking pod episode for David Fincher's movies when his new Netflix movie comes out this year, starring the man who bends the Foss.
I've never heard that, but I love it.
Interesting, but yeah, David Fincher movie episode, that would actually be kind of dope. Anson says, my favorite villain of all time has to be Bill Cipher from the show Gravity Falls. I could go on about how excellent he is, but I will simply instead mention that he does at one point jovially say the line, now if you'll excuse me, I have some children I need to turn into corpses. That pretty much tells you all you need to know about this Eldritch Dorito man. Damn. Interesting. May have to give that a shot. We have been getting recommended to watch Gravity Falls for a while as well. So that might be a vibe. And he also says, Puss in Boots 2 was shockingly amazing. Probably my favorite film of last year. Stellar stuff all around. Very true. Connor says, that entire section about the cruise cake legit had me crying while laughing. A power only the cruise cake holds. Amazing episode as always, lads. Thank you, Connor. And NMS responds saying, did some digging into the old pod episodes because I remember an ancient Tom Cnews about Tom Cruise's fake butt in Valkyrie. See episode 9 of the pod at an hour 4 minutes into it. The Tom Cnews felt like a spiritual connection to that. Yeah, that is the thing. We did talk about Tom Cruise's fake cake a while ago.
But so I've looked at this now, right? Because it came up. And I think it is simply a trick of the mind. Because the Bunda does look, to put it politely, scrumptious. But
right.
I think if you look, because I kind of saw it in a GIF motion.
A GIF that you sent to me, we should clarify.
Oh, yes, that's where I forgot where yeah, okay, so...
You just sent me that GIF.
Okay, let's look at it. Look at it, okay? Are you looking at the GIF? So,
I'm investigating it, yeah.
Right butt cheek, left butt cheek, obviously caked up, but maybe not fake. But then the right leg, it looks humongous, but it is, in fact, the entire thigh.
It's the thigh, you're right.
It's the entire thigh.
So is he just actually real caked up? But that's still too much cake, though.
It's a lot of cake.
Still a lot.
But
it's a lot of cake for a 60-year-old
sense.
cruise. But also, I don't know, because I guess why would they do it? It's a little bit of one of those like Instagram influencer, trick of the pose sort of thing where you bend it a certain way to make the.
See, I think it's just an illusion that's happened.
A cruise.
Not denying him his.
I think there's something going on there. I think it might be a diaper. I don't know. Daniel says another really great and enjoyable episode. Keep up the truly puss-esque work. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
One of the funniest episodes in a long time. My sides were hurting from laughing so hard. P.S. Easily the most unhinged Tom Cnews ever, and I loved it. Can't wait for the Tom Cruise video where Tom Hanks eats Cruise's ass. Coming very soon to the Poorly Planned podcast After Dark. God, we've really corrupted a lot of people here. I feel bad about this.
What if we get a cameo of Cruise or Tom, and then just them going ham on a picture of the other one?
That's a very good idea, actually. That'd be worth thousands of dollars that fucking Tom Cruise impersonator charges. Another PS. What are your thoughts on Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury happening at the end of February? ... Testicle. So, thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good fight for both of them. It's actually kind of a fun fight because whoever loses is pretty much fucked in their boxing career. So, yeah, I think Jake Paul should probably win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy Fury pulls it out of the bag. But yeah, I
hope Tommy pulls it out of the bag.
But if he does, then we don't get the Jake Paul KSI, which probably is a good thing. Because Jake Paul
is a good thing.
Fuck him up.
You would fuck the shit out of it. Okay, I mean,
hey,
you would fuck. Classic funk master. I'm a come on your ass.
Also, by the way, did you see the KSI documentary? I actually watched it. Yes, I'm that guy.
Yes, I'm Himothy.
God, never mind. We can save that for another time. But yeah, I watched the KSI documentary.
I've not seen that. Is it good?
Yeah, that's some stuff. Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. And finally, Movie Boy says, I was listening to the episode at school and I was laughing at the Tom Cruise cake. I then rewind it to watch the Tom Cruise again, and at one part my headphones cut out, and at full volume in class, it said Tom Hanks is deeply in love with the Tom Cruise cake. And Josie says, I can only imagine the look on the classmate's face when that happened. Yeah, that is truly horrific, but also very hilarious.
Did you get expelled?
Yeah. Also, to be fair, could have come out of the worst point. There's a part where you talk about, would you rather sit on Tom Cruise's face and fuck his ass or something? That was the part where I was like, should I cut this out? Is this
sit on his cake, not his face?
Yeah. No, eat his cake or fuck his ass or something like that. And I was just like, is this where we draw the line? Should I cut this one out? But I was like, no, you know what? For the culture.
I was very happy you kept it in. Same with the reverberating testicle moment.
Yes, of course. I've gotten a lot more lenient, I'm gonna say. I leave most of the stuff in.
I love that.
I used to be like, we said the word testicles, gotta cut that out. Now I'm just like, what if I put my balls in a headphone thing and
what if I literally fucked Tom Cruise in the butt?
Yeah, it's gotten really unhinged. I guarantee, I've thought about this a little bit. I guarantee you in like 5 years, I'm going to look back on this and be like, why the fuck did I upload this publicly? But you know what? We enjoy the ride. That's what it's about.
We do enjoy the ride.
I was also going to say there was kind of a similar moment where one of the film guys during our class, he's just watching something and I look over and I see he's got like a BHL Hudson video pulled up just as a bit of a meme. And then he goes to the Poorly Planned podcast and I was like, if this motherfucker has forgotten to mute his computer in the middle of this lecture, just the Poorly Planned podcast starts blaring out, I'm going to kill myself. And luckily he had, but yeah, one of these days that'll happen and I will, it'll be painful. Anyway.
It'll be painful.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, drop a like on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment down below what you thought of the things we talked about. If you hate us now for our takes on Shazam and Babylon, and what you thought
Let us know.
Of everything, really. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating, a nice review. Tell your friends about the pod. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson, TikTok, BHL Hudson, Letterboxd, Real BHL Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Twitter at FTK_DaltSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgard. You can find me on Letterboxd at FTK_Thwilms. And you can find me on YouTube at FTK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Babylon sucks.
Oh, he went there.
Yeah.
He's him.
Call me Himothy, because I'm him.
All right.
Alright, sorry.